Hey, what's up, everyone? It's time for the big Netcode review here. Man, it's been a long day, Mir. I've been playing all night testing this thing out.
Yes,
How about you? A
me
lot?
too.
Yeah?
Me too. Yeah, I've been playing all night since the servers came up.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, a lot of people want to know. I know there's a lot of mixed feedback on it. So me and Mir are going to do our best to tell you from our perspective. We'll try to list as many facts as we can about it, just because it is only one day of testing. But we've been playing all night against a lot of people around the world. I feel like the true world warrior right now, man. It's crazy. But first, I mean, I kind of want to just tell a little story of like how it kind of unfolded because it's been really crazy on social media, Mir. Because
hmm
the way it worked is, well, first I slept in as usual. First I slept in as usual, so I woke up to like a storm on Twitter, and the first thing I see is like right when the maintenance was done, right? People immediately were playing ranked and all that, and there was already some negative feedback, basically saying nothing has changed, and all Capcom did was remove the netcode mods, and that was it. And there was a
hmm
lot of stuff circulating, and a lot of people that weren't actually testing it, and they were retweeting it, and it was spreading everywhere like a wildfire, even in the Discord. Even when I woke up, I posted in the Discord, from what I'm reading, they just took out the mod, and I was like, oh no. But
Yeah,
yeah, man.
I will say, to be honest, it kind of, I don't want to say angry, but it kind of like showed that there were a lot of people that were willing to make a judgment on the game without even trying it, just because they were just regurgitating someone else's opinion. And
Yeah.
it honestly was disappointing to say the least, because like what they could have done was just like literally go online, try the connection with other people that they already knew,
Right.
like how other connection was, right?
Right.
That's what I did. Like I had other people that I played lobbies with for a long time. I know how the connection is, and I played with them, and I could see what the changes were immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm definitely a bit disappointed about the behavior of many people at the beginning, but it seems
Social
like
media, man.
it's stabilized over time. At least
Yeah,
that.
it did. I mean, more people got more open-minded as we heard more positive feedback. And to be fair, like I said, we're not trying to call out anyone. There's a lot of people that
Yeah.
apologize, that did the testing themselves afterwards as well. So it's not
hmm
all negative. But I just want to kind of tell the story because, like I said, it's been a rocky ride as we're testing things and seeing what other people are saying here. So
Yeah.
it escalated even more too when Ono confirmed that the netcode patch was actually live, because there was a lot of people saying maybe the maintenance didn't actually fix the netcode yet and they're going to do that later on in the week. But then Ono confirmed that the netcode patch is out. Let us know in your feedback. And everyone's like, oh my god, it actually didn't change it. It's like language barrier alert. It's been crazy.
hmm
So, like I said, it's important. I know everyone's really passionate, but it's also important to have a really open mind and to do as much testing as possible. Like I said, don't just hop in ranked. I mean, actually play people that that are leggy before, so you can get some actual conclusive testing here.
Yeah.
Proper testing, is
Yeah.
if
Exactly.
it's different. Because,
hmm
some people are going to have crappy connections. You're in ranked. People have Wi-Fi, man. You're going to play on crappy stages or whatever. It's really
Yeah.
hard to test it that way. So, okay, let's talk about some facts first, and then we'll go through our own testing and experiences here, Mir. The first fact here is the netcode mods are blocked. Capcom removed them. So now you guys
Yeah.
no longer have to fear the PC player onslaught. I think, from what I understand, it verifies the files and it makes sure that they're not modified. And so
hmm
the netcode mods are gone. All right, so you guys don't have to worry about that anymore. So you guys probably should refresh your blacklist now, or change your your hardware, so you're playing against PC and PS4 players again, if you want to play a bigger base.
Yeah,
Um,
I would say that it is especially notable because of the original patch, Ultimos patch, that a lot of people kind of used in a way to cheat because of how it interacted with people that didn't have the patch.
yeah,
So,
it's pretty dark, man.
well, I mean, it is, and then it was a
It's
reality
dark,
of the
bro.
situation. It was a reality of the situation. I mean,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
people
definitely,
had
and
to.
that's why
Of
Capcom
course,
had to get on it, because we have tournaments
yeah,
coming up,
exactly.
right? Like Intel.
hmm
So another fact too, guys, I'm sure you guys are probably wondering right now, what about our costume mods? Did the costume mods work? And from what I am reading so far, most of the costume mods still work. So they did specifically go after the netcode mods. I'm not sure if the way it's coded or everything is different. It's separate, and that's why. But from what I understand, I was talking to Greg Gambit, and he says the costumes are working. So
Okay.
They're working so far. If any of the costumes or stage mods or whatever don't work, let us know in the comments, please, so we can correct ourselves. So there's that.
Mhm.
And the third fact is the netcode has been changed. That is a fact. Tool Assisted posted some coding for us that showed us they did tweak some numbers, and it is in fact different. It is not just them removing the mod and then calling it a day.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of our experiences now, man, because that's what people are probably really want to know. Just tell me some of your experience really quickly. You've been testing tonight and how it's been going for you.
All right, so I've been playing with people that I played lobbies with for a long time, so I know exactly how the connections are. We tried these, matches before with the patch, without the patch. Both PC players and PS4 players. Well, I mean, of course, PS4 players that wouldn't have had the patch.
Right.
And in my experience, on average, every connection has improved.
Okay.
Like some more than others, some less.
Mm-hmm.
But on average, I would say that the experience was better for me.
Okay. And
for the others on the other side too, I should say.
What countries are these players from? And just state where you're from again, just so everyone knows.
Okay, so I'm from Italy, and I played with people from the US, from basically North America in general.
Yeah.
And some from South America too.
Right.
Also another player from Russia as well.
Okay.
So, basically across the world.
Yeah.
Literally across the Atlantic.
Have any of the connections been worse than before?
No, I would say that every connection has been better. Yeah.
Okay.
For me and for the other player.
Mm-hmm.
The only exception is one player from Japan who always had who always had the better end of the connection, and now he's the one suffering, and we are getting better connection. But it's still rollback.
Right.
Seems that he's getting hit with more rollback.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be the only case. Like everyone else has been more stable on both sides and less rollback.
Right. Okay, so from my own experience, it has been improved for every single person I played. First I started against someone from East Coast Canada. Keep in mind, guys, I live in Canada. I'm like West Central Canada. I live in Alberta. So I play against East Coast Canada around like Toronto, kind of area, and this was against someone who always lagged against me, where it was laggy to the point where I can't react to their dashes or their jumps, and now it was fine. I mean, I saw sometimes a little bit of rollback, but you can tell the game actually resyncs now. And that's really important, Mir, is that the game's actually resyncing. Usually the way the netcode works is that it'll keep desyncing more and more and more, and the longer the match goes, especially if someone gets dizzy and they mash on buttons, the rollback gets beyond out of control. Even if you're waiting on the screen where you want to rematch them, it still does not sync, but now it does, which is really important. So when you do have hitches, it seems to stabilize afterwards, which is a big deal. So East Coast Canada, I played against Ustin. He lives in Texas, and he was someone who was laggy before as well. I have troubles dealing with his jumps and dashes. Now he's fine. I played against Sonic Soul. He lives in New York, and Sonic Soul, I played him both on PC and on PS4. We tested the waterfall stage, which is ass, and we tested the training mode. Training mode is still what you want to play on. The training stage, it is improvement. He says there was a little bit laggy, but he said it was improved on his side. And for me, where he was laggy, it was definitely improved. Then I went more extreme. I played someone from Mexico, and it was way better on the Mexico side. Mm-hmm. And I played against you, Mir. You live in Italy.
Yeah.
And it was better. Definitely playable. I can react to your jumps, which is important. And then I went to the extreme like you did, and I played White Wind from Japan, and it was way better. But for him, on his side, it was bad, right? But we're talking about the extreme.
Japan is getting what they deserve.
Right.
All the lag that they've been missing for all these years.
Right. And then I played Kwa, and he lives in the same city as me. He lives 15 minutes away from me, and it was like we're playing offline. It was perfect, as it should be if you're that close. But before, me and Kwa would have our problems too, because as you guys know, with Street Fighter V netcode, it's a beautiful experience where even if someone lives right next to you, there's problems. But I tested with Kwa just to make sure the close proximity was fine. And once again, guys, this is from me and Mir's perspective. We're not saying it's going to be the best for everyone. This is just from our own testing. And like I said, we literally played everyone from around the world. And most importantly, we played people that we know for sure lagged before, and it has been an improvement now. So from our perspective, it's positive and it's better than before. It's not
Yes.
like the best perfect netcode ever, but it's an improvement, definitely.
Yeah, that is important to know. Like, of course, the netcode right now is not, Killer Instinct netcode is not Mortal Kombat. It's nothing like that.
Right.
But compared to what we had before for Street Fighter Five, I think this version of the netcode is improving.
Yeah. And we tested
Like,
it
it's an
thoroughly
improvement.
once again. Sorry, Mayor.
No, no, I was just about to say it is an improvement.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
and like I said, we made sure we played against PC and PS4 players, which is important. We
Yeah.
try to be as thorough as we can. So now talk to you guys more about some more stuff. Oh, another thing too, there was other like really well known players that have had positive feedback as well. I remember seeing Punk say that it was improvement from the players that he used to play before. I think Arturo was saying as well that it was better for him as well. And I peeked a little bit onto Maximilian's stream, and he said it was an improvement as well from his matches that he played, but I don't think he played very long, like an hour or so. So I'm just trying to like see the overall feedback. There is some people with negative feedback, but I'm seeing most of the time it's for matches that are really far, like different continents, like they're trying to test the extremes. And once again, we're not trying to say that people that with negative feedback are wrong. We're just trying to note that. We're just trying to like see what's going on, right? I'm just trying to give you guys all the information that we have, especially on
Yeah.
social media.
Another thing that I think it's important to mention is that this netcode patch doesn't seem to have affected the matchmaking at all,
No.
which is unrelated. So if you were getting people from Mexico before and you lived in the U.S., this is still going to happen.
Right.
So don't expect anything stellar at that point because,
Right.
of course, the distance is so high.
Right.
The Wi-Fi or whatever, right? So, like, of course, if you get players from another country that is so far away, or even another continent like South America, right? The connection is not going to be good. But compared to how it was before, it might be better. It's
Right.
just that you're not going to notice because you didn't play those players.
Right. So I had a chance to message Fluffy, who's one of the netcode modders for the second
Fluffy
mod,
Sheep.
the Fluffy mod. And I showed him just a little bit. He was really busy, so keep in mind, guys, I'm paraphrasing him, okay? So I'm not saying, word for word verbatim. And I showed him, because like I said, Tool Assisted pointed out that they changed the code, and I showed him, like, what did they change exactly from what Fluffy was explaining to me. And keep in mind, guys, I do not understand that code at all. So like I said, I'm paraphrasing. He was basically saying that it's basically like a baby modified version of Ultimore, the first netcode mod that came out. But Capcom basically made like the baby version of it. He says that it's still a worse version of his mod and Ultimore's mod, but it's still a step in the right direction. It's still an improvement because it's, like I said, it resyncs now, and they basically put a limit on how much the rollback can desync depending on ping. So the game is constantly checking for your ping and trying to keep the frames closer and closer together so the rollback is not too extreme. With that being said, though, I'd love to get Fluffy, on the podcast sometime so we can tell us in layman terms what's going on. But for now, like I said, he's really busy. I just try to get as much information as I could. But the key thing here, guys, is that the one-sided rollback would still exist, especially if the connection is really extreme or someone has a really bad connection in general, like Wi-Fi. And like Mir said, the matchmaking is the same, and there is still definitely rollback if the connection is really extreme. But for the most part, what this means is that if both players have good connections and good proximity, then the netcode should be working, right?
Yes.
And even though Street Fighter V's netcode is bad for many, many reasons besides just the rollback itself, like the matchmaking and the information it gives you before you play your opponent, for the most part, it's basically like a band-aid on a big issue with the netcode, but it's still a step in the right direction. It's still an improvement from everything that we've tested and seen. And another positive thing to point out is that Capcom is still looking for feedback. Like they said that, hey, give us feedback on how this turns out, and maybe Capcom can crank the numbers a little bit more, because I think they're just kind of testing it just to see, hey, if we tweak this a little bit, and where we go from here. Because there's tournaments coming up, like I said, so I'm sure they don't want to do too much extreme, right? But they're at least tweaking it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I would like to say for everyone that is interested and maybe hasn't tried playing Street Fighter in a while because of the connection, do try the game out. Try to see if the connections with people that had bad connections before are better, and please do give feedback to Capcom at Capcom. No, that's the 5
Street
server.
Fighter's 5 servers. at Street Fighter
Yeah,
5 servers.
SFI servers.
It's basically the place we go. We want to complain. That's where all the complaint
Yeah,
tweets go.
like that's where usually you see the maintenance
Yeah.
tweets and stuff, so you know where to go. But like this is our opportunity to give constructive feedback and hopefully, have Capcom understand that we can improve this, basically this netcode patch and make it better. So like
Right.
this is what we should do as a community, just to to finally see this netcode be
Right.
fixed.
Right. Like I said, it's definitely a step in the right direction. Like, it's not perfect. My expectations were very low, to be fair. So this is actually quite positive for me because, like, honestly, Street Fighter 5 was in the netcode was so bad, Mir, that it's in a state of being unplayable. Like, Street Fighter 5 Online is unplayable, and it went from unplayable to playable today for me.
Yeah.
And that's a huge step. Even though it didn't go from unplayable to perfect, unplayable to playable is a huge difference for me personally. And like I said, even though this might be considered a baby version of the netcode mod and it's not as good as both mods, it's still a mod where it's still a change where the PS4 players don't have to worry about PC players. So we have a bigger player base again, right? And like I said, the PS4 side also got patched. So there's no like negative repercussions of this is basically what I'm saying. And I think if Capcom now focuses on their matchmaking, like if that's a priority that they're trying to change, I think that would make a greater impact right now on everything, is making sure you're playing people that are closer to you, if possible.
For sure.
And yeah, I just want to remind you guys, if you're doing your testing, if in casual and ranked, you don't have people to play like 1v1 against to test, like I highly suggest you guys refresh your blacklists and set your hardware to any, just so you're making sure you're playing against as many platforms as possible. So yeah, I guess the bottom line here is like it's not perfect. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, but it's definitely an improvement from before. And after 4 years, some of you guys will be really disappointed about that, but hopefully right now Capcom, they have their eyes on the feedback and we have their attention. So hopefully there could be some further tweaking in the future for this game for how much longer it lasts in general.
Yeah, and this is of course really important for eventual online tournaments as well and qualifiers and stuff.
Yeah, man, it's scary.
This means better netcode for them too. Otherwise, there's just gonna be people contesting other people's connections. Is gonna be a mess and could be even like a red flag for Capcom not to try it again in the future. So it's good that they're trying, like actively trying to improve the netcode now. And I mean, it took someone to like set a fire under their bums, but
yeah, it did. It had to take.
But at least we got here.
Right.
So we can work from here to just give our feedback and hopefully things will improve.
Ono can grasp the situation.
Yes, he is firmly grasped. Firmly grasped.
All right, guys. Please do us a favor and let us know in the comments below your own personal experience with it, and we can see how it has improved overall or lack thereof. So yeah, Mir, thanks for joining me, man. Giving me your feedback, and we'll keep you guys posted if there's any more news updates regarding this netcode because it's been quite the journey. All right, guys, take care.